My girlfriend chose a night out at a club over helping me during one of the worst moments of my life, and I'm now questioning everything about our relationship. I'm 22, and so is my girlfriend. We've been together for 5 years, dating since high school, and I thought she was my future. I even bought a ring and had been planning to propose soon. But after what happened, I'm no longer sure if I can see a future with her. Her best friend's birthday was last weekend. She and her friends rented a private lounge at a club, and I wasn't invited. I didn't mind, though. I've never liked clubbing, and I was looking forward to spending a quiet night at home, maybe watching Netflix. She left around 9 p.m., and I settled on the couch with YouTube playing in the background. At around 11 p.m., I noticed a strange pain in my stomach. At first it felt like a dull ache, something small and manageable. I thought it would pass, but within minutes the pain grew sharper and more intense. It felt like I'd been punched repeatedly in the groin, and it kept getting worse. I stayed on the couch hoping it would stop, but when I looked down my pants, I noticed my right testicle was swollen. Alarmed, I tried to stand up and grab my phone to check what was going on, but as soon as I moved, I collapsed to the floor. The pain was unbearable, worse than anything I'd ever felt. I was curled up, unable to move, feeling completely helpless. I managed to crawl to the table where my phone was and called my girlfriend. She didn't pick up. I sent her a message explaining that something was seriously wrong and asking her to come home right away. The club she was at was only a 5-minute walk from our apartment, so I thought she'd be there quickly. But her reply was a simple, "What is it?" followed by an unamused emoji. I tried calling again, but she declined. Desperate, I texted her that I needed to go to the hospital, but her only response was, "For what?" I told her my testicles hurt and I needed her to come home immediately. By now, the pain was so intense that I was throwing up on the carpet. I called emergency services, and the operator asked if someone could drive me to the hospital. In my desperation, I told her yes, thinking my girlfriend would be home soon. The operator said she'd call back in 10 minutes. To confirm I was getting help, I checked my phone again, only to see my girlfriend had sent laughing emojis in response to my messages. I called her one more time, but she ignored it again and texted me, saying, "Stop bothering me, or I'll block you. Let me enjoy my night out." Then she blocked my number. At this point, I didn't care about embarrassment anymore. I called emergency services again and requested an ambulance. The pain was unbearable and I couldn't stop shaking. It felt like hours, but eventually, the ambulance arrived and rushed me to the hospital. When I woke up after surgery, the doctor explained that a cord next to my testicle had twisted, cutting off the blood flow. If I hadn't gotten help in time, I could have lost it entirely. Hearing this left me feeling both relieved and angry. I checked my phone and saw a flood of messages from my girlfriend. She had come home, seen the vomit on the carpet, and realized I wasn't there. Her panic finally set in, and she sent over 70 messages, asking where I was and why the door was unlocked. I replied with the name of the hospital and my room number before passing out again. The next morning, I woke up to find her asleep on the couch in my hospital room. When she woke up, she burst into tears, apologizing over and over again. She said she thought I was joking and didn't realize how serious it was. She stayed with me for the next 2 days, taking care of me, but I couldn't shake the anger and hurt. Ever since I came home from the hospital yesterday, I've been torn. Part of me wants to end the relationship. How could she ignore my cries for help and stay out at the club until 3 a.m. without checking on me? But another part of me wonders if she really didn't understand how serious it was. Maybe she made a genuine mistake. I don't know what to do, but I can't stop feeling hurt and betrayed. I woke up after the surgery feeling groggy and in pain, but at least I still had both testicles. The doctor told me that the cord next to my right testicle had twisted, cutting off blood flow. I was extremely lucky to have reached the hospital in time. If I hadn't, they might have needed to surgically remove it. When I finally checked my phone, I saw a flood of missed calls and messages from my girlfriend. She had come home from the club, found vomit on the carpet, and realized the front door was unlocked. That's when she figured out I wasn't joking. Her messages started off angry, asking why I'd left the apartment like that. But as she kept messaging, her tone changed. It became frantic, and she sent over 70 messages asking where I was. I replied with the name of the hospital and my room number and then went back to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, I saw her sleeping on a couch in my hospital room. When she woke up, She immediately broke down crying and apologized over and over again. She said she thought I was joking and had no idea how serious it was. I didn't have the energy to argue with her, so I just stayed quiet and let her talk. She stayed with me in the hospital for the next 2 days, taking care of me and trying to make up for what happened. Now that I'm back home, I've had time to think and I feel torn. Part of me wants to end this relationship because of how she treated me, but another part of me feels like maybe this was just a huge mistake on her part. When we talked, I laid out everything I felt. I told her how hurt I was that she ignored my messages and declined my calls, even though I was clearly begging for help. I told her how disrespectful it was for her to block me after I tried reaching out, and how staying at the club until 3 a.m. without checking on me was completely unacceptable. Her response was defensive at first. She said she thought I was exaggerating and blamed her reaction on being drunk. She insisted that she genuinely thought I was joking because I hadn't explained the situation clearly enough. She also said she didn't believe the pain could have been that bad. I explained that in the state I was in, I couldn't think straight, let alone send her a detailed explanation. All I could do was send short, desperate texts because I was barely holding it together. When I finished, she started crying again. She apologized for everything and said if she'd known how serious it was, none of this would have happened. I asked her why she didn't take me seriously in the first place. I also asked if she was cheating on me, because her behavior felt so out of character that I didn't know what else to think. She looked devastated when I said that. She said she would never cheat on me and that she thought I was just being insecure about her being at a club with other guys. After hearing her out, I told her I needed some space to figure things out. I asked her to stay with her parents for a while. She begged me not to make her leave, asking if I was breaking up with her. I told her I didn't know yet. I explained that what she did had shaken my trust, and I needed time to decide if I could move forward with her. She cried as she packed a few essentials, promising she'd do anything to make it up to me. Before she left, she gave me a kiss and said she'd wait as long as I needed. That was 2 days ago. Since then, we've kept minimal contact. I give her updates on my recovery, but we haven't talked about anything else. I still love her deeply, but I don't know if I can fully trust her again. I've been thinking about setting boundaries if we decide to stay together. For one, if she ever blocks me again, that's the end of us. Second, ignoring my messages when I'm in need is not something I'll tolerate anymore. Third, if she goes out again, she has to answer my calls, no matter what. Lastly, I think we need an emergency code word, like hospital, to make it clear when something is truly urgent. I know these rules sound strict, but I just want to feel secure in this relationship. I don't want to abuse these boundaries, but I need to know that my partner has my back, especially in moments like this. At the same time, I can't stop questioning if this is fixable. She has been my best friend for 12 years, and we've been together for 5. I love her so much. But how can I trust someone with my life if they ignored me during a crisis? For now, it feels unlikely that we'll stay together, but I'm trying to take things one step at a time.